y'all, it's me Deja B, and I'm back at it again with another video. Today I'm going to be talking to you guys about what I wish I knew before I started getting my hair dyed. I want to tell you guys where I went wrong so you can do it right, okay? I first started getting my hair dyed probably about 10 years or so ago. I kind of started gradually just getting like my ends dyed and then highlights, and then I didn't ever fully get my hair dyed until college, probably, which is a big risk. If you are thinking about getting your hair dyed, one of the things I do recommend is trying different spots, trying highlights, or just trying the tips of your hair, or even just trying like a hair paint wax or something like that to see how the color really looks on you, because that is really important. You don't want to get your hair dyed and it not come out the way you expected it to look on you. Which brings me to a really important tip. Please make sure that the stylist who is going to dye your hair actually knows how to get you the color you want it, because I have gone through the experience in the past of asking for one color and getting something completely different on more than one occasion, and once it's done, it's kind of done. Like, there's nothing you can do about it. So please make sure the stylist that you're going to ask to do your hair has a record of giving people what they want. Okay, so I'm going to tell you guys what dyeing your hair or getting your hair lifted really means, and I'm going to read it because I'm not even going to pretend like I actually remembered. So lifting the hair means that the cuticle layer is being opened up so that color can get into the cortex. So the cortex is the deepest layer of the hair, and you're lifting the cuticle layer because you want your hair to be able to accept that color. Like, as you can see, my original hair color, my natural hair color, is a very dark color. So if I just try to like put hair dye on it, it's not really going to take. It might look like a little tint in the sunlight or something, but it's not really going to take without getting my cuticle layer opened up and allowing that color into my hair. So I know a lot of people don't necessarily want to get their hair dyed because they are worried about damage, but it is my personal opinion that getting your hair dyed is not what necessarily damages your hair. It can be a contributing factor, but I think that there are a lot of factors at play. So one of the things that I think you should take into consideration is making sure that your hair is at optimal health before making that decision to get your hair lifted and dyed. Because if you go into it with damaged hair, severely split ends, single strand knots, incomplete splits, which means your hair strand can seemingly look full, and then there will be like a gap in it. It could be like in the middle of the hair strand. Now, if you go and you get your hair lifted and you don't take care of that beforehand, then it's just going to result in your hair getting worse. So I definitely recommend you taking care of that beforehand. Now, I also want to note that lifting the hair can result in a change in texture, but that's not always 100% the case, and has not always been 100% the case in my experience. But if you have high porosity hair per se, if you go and you get your cuticle lifted, your cuticles are already lifted, so if you get them lifted again, then that can result in a change in texture, and it could result in damage, especially if you don't take care of your hair properly down the line. So yes, you do run the risk of a change in texture or damage, but that's not always 100% the case in my opinion. I do want to note why I gave you guys the definition of what lifting is because I had no idea what was actually being done to my hair. I just knew that I wanted a different color. I wanted red, I wanted a brown, a honey blonde, or whatever, and I was gonna get that. But not knowing what the actual process was affected my ability to know how to take care of my hair afterwards. And that's why I want you guys to have an understanding of what's going on with your hair. So I definitely recommend either doing your own research on what the whole process is and how to take care of your hair afterwards, or asking your stylist what that process is before going into it, because if you don't have any idea what's happening, then you don't know how to take care of your hair afterwards. Another thing that I wish I knew before getting my hair dyed is that my hair was going to need protein. When I started getting my hair dyed, I didn't know anything about porosity. I was actually still relaxed, but then not too long after that, I went into transitioning into natural. So it was a whole lot of things going on with my hair. And I'm not even gonna lie, it was 10 years ago, so I had no idea what I was doing. Only thing I knew how to do was Bantu knots. Wash my hair, put some product in it, and do a Bantu knot out. I had no idea what porosity was. I had no idea what good hair products were, none of that. And so you really need to pay attention to that as well. So because I had no idea what porosity was, I didn't know that my hair was in need of protein. More specifically, it's 2021 now, so I got my hair, the last time I got my hair lifted and dyed was in March 2019. I'll insert a picture of what my hair looked like then, but I got my hair lifted and dyed. It was like the first time that I ever got the color that I wanted. And my hair looked really good. There weren't really many changes in like the texture or anything. And for a while, I didn't really experience any major issues with my hair. But then like 8 or 9 months later, I started experiencing the dry hair, the excessive shedding, the split ends, but not only split ends, like my split ends were throwing up gang signs. It was just damaged. It was coming undone. Despite me trimming, I trim my hair frequently, but I was still having so many split ends. I was having those incomplete splits, and I had no freaking idea what was going on with my hair. And I think maybe I was watching like some YouTube videos and I came across some people talking about protein treatments and stuff like that, and so I decided to do a protein treatment because I was starting to feel like that's what my hair really needed. And when I did that protein treatment, it really changed my life. Not even to be funny, but it really did like change how my hair, the health of my hair was. Like my curls were bouncing back a little bit more. Of course, the damage that was done was already done, so I could not go back from that. But that's why I definitely think it's important to know your porosity so that you know and make sure that you're getting enough protein, because your hair is made of protein. So once that protein is broken down, you need to add more protein to help your hair build that protein back up. Otherwise, your hair is going to snap, crackle, and pop. And that's what my hair did. And by the time I realized that was what was happening, it was too late. Now my hair has been growing. It is January 2021. Like I said, I had gotten my hair lifted and dyed in March 2019. The color is almost grown out. It's no longer red. It's just like this brown color on the tips. I do trim my ends pretty frequently. Like I just do it when I feel like my hair needs it. When I'm seeing a lot of knots and when I'm seeing a lot of splits, I just go ahead and take care of it, which is probably every 6 weeks. I'm really done with this color. Not that I regret getting my hair dyed or anything like that, but I'm just kind of over it. After this year of experience, this past year of just revelations and realizing where I went wrong, I didn't regret getting my hair dyed. I just regretted how I treated my hair after that. And I feel like that's probably the second most important thing next to making sure the health of your hair is prime before getting it dyed. So you need to know how to take care of your hair, because my hair is growing. It's grown out, but I haven't been retaining that much length because of the amount of damage I have had to cut off of my hair. So my hair is a little bit longer than it was this time last year, but it's not as long as it could be. probably 6 to 8 weeks after you get your hair dyed. If you have normal to high porosity hair, you probably need to be getting a protein treatment after that. I didn't do a protein treatment until 8 or 9 months after. The damage was already done. Get ahead of the damage. That is super important. Super freaking important. So let me tell you what could possibly happen to you if you don't make sure that you're getting that protein that you need. No matter how much you moisturize your hair is probably still gonna feel dry. It's still probably gonna feel unmanageable. It's probably gonna be frizzy as hell. And you're probably going to start experiencing more shedding than you've normally experienced. And in my past experience, I was like, okay, what is going on? Like, I thought my hair was falling out. I thought something was wrong with me. But what was wrong with me is I needed a protein treatment. Another thing I do want to note is knowing the porosity of your hair before you get your hair dyed, in my opinion, is really important, because low porosity hair and high porosity hair are not going to react the same way to the lifting process. High porosity hair is going to be double high porosity afterward. Low porosity hair might be normal porosity. One high porosity hair is probably going to be more prone to damage and breakage. Low porosity hair might not have that same experience. They might not be as prone to it because their hair is only being lifted a little bit, whereas high porosity hair is already lifted and it's going to be lifted even more. Another thing that I think is very important for you to know, if you don't already know this, is natural hair might come off as being thick, but it's just the illusion of the texture of the hair. I have very fine hair, and a lot of times a lot of natural girls and guys have fine hair. The hair is more delicate and it needs to be treated as such. The reason why I say that is because some people have this mentality that their hair is super strong, it's tough. And yes, natural hair rocks. I do agree with that. But you have to keep in mind that your hair is actually delicate and it's probably more fine than you realize. And of course, because we have our coils, our sebum doesn't spread down our hair the same. So it is more prone to getting dry as well. So you need to keep that in mind. Like I said, just because you get your hair dyed, it doesn't mean that you're going to have an immediate, like a super duper drastic change in texture. But because our hair is more fine and it is more delicate, there is the possibility that the texture can change. Now, it probably won't last forever as long as you treat your hair well afterwards. So all in all, what I want you guys to take away from this video is know your porosity. Know that your porosity can change after getting your hair dyed. Know that your hair may not come out the color that you wanted. That is a very strong possibility. Like I said, that has happened to me. And if you want to avoid that happening to you, please try to find a stylist who is giving people the colors that they want. And they have a record of that. They have shown proof and they have satisfied clients, okay? Make sure you're getting enough protein. Make sure you know the signs of your hair needing more protein, because that can help you avoid more damage in the future. I had no idea what was happening to my hair, and I'm sure some people still don't know. So please, if you watch this video, please do your research. Please talk to a stylist, because they are trained professionals. They should know the process of what's going on, and they should be able to tell you what is happening. If they cannot tell you what's happening and how to prepare and how to treat your hair afterwards, then do not get your hair dyed by them. They are not to be trusted. You have been warned. That's all I gotta say. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please let me know if you have any questions or comments down below. I would really appreciate your responses. Give this video a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.